The U.S. Air Force's 40-year-old B-1 bombers don't have much time left. Worn out by the air campaigns over Iraq and Afghanistan, the B-1s are in line for replacement as the USAF's new B-21 stealth bombers enter service over the next decade. But it's clear what the B-1s will be doing in their final years, hauling stealthy anti-ship missiles to threaten enemy fleets. Dramatic exercises over the Black Sea in recent years have underscored the swing-wing bombers' new maritime strike role. 4 B-1s from the 7th Bomb Wing at Dyess Air Force Base in Texas in early October deployed to the Royal Air Force Base at Fairford. In the pre-dawn darkness on October 19, 2 of the bombers took off for what would be a 12-hour mission. Clutching targeting pods under their bellies, the bombers codenamed Darko 1 and Darko 2 flew east over the North Sea, topped off their fuel tanks courtesy of at least one USAF KC-135 from RAF Mildenhall, then winged south, bound for the Black Sea. In wartime, the non-stealthy bombers might need escort to protect them from Russian fighters. The Black Sea has become a much more dangerous place since the 2014 Russian invasion of Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula. Crimea since then has become a veritable fortress on NATO's southeastern flank. The Kremlin has staged ships, fighters and missiles in Crimea. NATO ships and surveillance planes crisscross international waters and airspace in order to keep tabs on the buildup. In wartime, the Black Sea could become a shooting gallery. B-1s could be the biggest shooters. When the 100 B-1s entered service in the early 1980s, they strictly were nuclear strike assets. The USAF in the early 1990s denuclearized the type. The fleet steadily shrank through the 2000s. When the United States and its allies invaded Afghanistan in 2001 and Iraq 2 years later, there were around 60 B-1s in service. The bombers spent more than a decade flying high and slow over arid battlegrounds, dropping bombs on insurgents and militants. The relentless pace of operations took a toll on the B-1s. The cost of maintaining the increasingly weary bombers spiked. The Air Force in 2020 begged Congress for permission to retire the 17 most fatigued B-1s, leaving 45 in service until the B-21 replaces them in the late 2020s and early 2030s. In the meantime, the B-1 force pivoted. After 20 years flying over deserts and mountains, the B-1 squadrons shifted focus to water. With its 5,000-mile range and 25-ton payload, the bomber is ideal for maritime missions.